Hey guys, Zoroarrkk here, and today I'm bringing you guys another video, and we're going to continue on with a series of what makes a game a game. I know, bad title, couldn't think of anything else, I'm sorry. But today we're going to speak about another aspect, but before we go any further, I should just note that you do not need every single aspect of what I'm going to list in this series to make a perfect game. Some games won't have them, some games will have adaptations of them, some games won't even consider them. And obviously some games will have some, but not others, some might have all. But it doesn't mean that the game is bad if it doesn't have a certain aspect, such as I said about soundtracks in the last episode. Well, you don't really see Call of Duty having a real soundtrack. It just has little tunes, when you start in games on the campaign, etc., etc. But it doesn't have an actual proper soundtrack. Is it a bad game? No, it's just not designed to have a soundtrack. So anyway. The aspect we're going to be going on about today is the storyline. Now, again, there's a storyline in pretty much every single game, but there is 3 different types of storylines in my opinion. So the first storyline, which has there's the storyline of Call of Duty, pretty much every single FPS as far as I'm aware, and that is the story of just basically the mechanics, and just the setting and stuff like that, so you know what's actually going on in the game. So, for example, in Call of Duty, you're going to have, in the Advanced Warfare, you got all the exosuits, the exoskeleton, when your person gets hit by the robot and ends up having to have the DNI, I think it is, in there. That just basically sets up what the exoskeleton is, what the thrust jumping is. I think it builds more on Advanced Warfare, to be honest. But it just gets with the cybernetic bit, and explains, Spectre and stuff. So, you got those storylines, the ones that basically inform. Then you got the other storylines, which are more your RPG, MMORPGs and RPG storylines, which is where you have one main storyline, but you have loads of offshoots. This storyline's immersive, but not too immersive. And it just gets you through the game, makes you enjoy the game, more for realism than anything else, so you feel like you're there, you're that actual character, you're that person, you make the decisions where you want to go on this quest or this quest, what paths you choose, what monsters you slay, etc, etc. Best example, Skyrim, World of Warcraft, those type of games. Then there's the third story. And this is the one which gets me pretty much, and that is as I would like to say, the 3 E's. Now, I completely thought of the 3 E's last night when I was thinking about making this video, and I'll tell you my inspiration for it, but it is true, and there is in stories. So you got the first E, entertain. You obviously need the game and the story to entertain, otherwise no one's going to play the game. That's obvious. The second E, immersive. Now I believe actually that is an I, but we're going to have to say it's an E. So what I mean by immersive and immersion is where you are in the game. You are that person, right? You are in that world. You are having that storyline. Every quest you go on is yours. It's not just said characters. It is yours. And then the final one is emotion. Now, this is where it gets a bit kiss-ass, and I do apologise. I am a big bitch, in a sense, in terms of emotion. I'm not able to control my emotions very well. So, emotive stories get to me, in a sense. And the 2 best examples I can give to you on this is Undertale and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky. Now, I know I keep going back to the latter, but there is a reason why it's my favourite game. Now, I can't really speak too much about the games, because obviously I don't want to ruin the story and give you spoilers, especially with Undertale, because Undertale is still quite a new game. But the story modes in both of them is absolutely amazing. And it goes back to these 3 E's, even though one of them's an I, but whatever. Alright? The game, especially with Undertale, Undertale gets you this character, you are obviously your said character, and you go through the game. You got obviously 2 routes. Everyone I think knows that you get 2 routes. You got the pacifist route, you got the genocide route. And the genocide route's more of the opposite, because there isn't really much emotion in there because you're a cold-blooded killer. But the pacifist route is very emotional, and you get to you're like attached to the characters in a sense. You go through the game, and you get quite attached to the characters that you meet and you become friends with and whatnot. And the ending on that, like I said, I can't ruin the ending, but the ending did have me tearing up a little bit when I was watching it, because it's not an actual game I would play just because of the actual aspect of the game, but the story is absolutely amazing. And even if you are not interested in playing it like I was, just go and watch someone play it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. The story is absolutely amazing. And it was very well thought out, I will admit. And honestly, just I don't really know what else to say. A story needs to have power, needs to have impact. And there is obviously different stories, like I said, the three I said earlier. Right? And some attract to other people more than the others do. But the thing with this emotional, immersive, and entertaining one is that you almost feel bad in a sense, or sorrowful. Like, it really just tugs on your emotions. If your character does something good, then you feel happy. If something drastic happens, like someone dies, or the world is being in an earthquake or something, just going completely drastic there, then you start feeling that sorrow, that horror effect, as if you are actually in that game. You are that character. And honestly, the people that write those stories, someone give them a medal. Those games are probably my favourite games. I mean, Undertale, I've never played it, and I'm not going to play it. Like I said, I don't actually like the actual way the game runs, but it is in my top 5 games just because of the story. And then obviously, as I said, Pokemon Street Dungeon Explorers of Sky is my favourite game of all time. And I think it is purely to do with story mode. And this also links in with what I said last episode with the soundtracks. Soundtracks and story mode very go together. If you've got a very sad moment and then you've got a sad soundtrack, that is just going to instantly... Anyone like me that can't really control their emotions much, well, you might think that you can, but sometimes you just can't. I mean, let's admit it, we all cried at Marley and Me. At the end of Marley and Me, I know I did. I'll freely admit it. I did cry at the end of Marley and Me. And anyone like that, anyone that did cry in those situations, would just cry at stories like Undertale, Mystery Dungeon, because of just how immersive they are, how the story plot went out. And it does almost drag in a sense, but there's a reason why it drags, and it's just for the more immersive bit. So you definitely are attached, you definitely are that character. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for this episode. I don't really know what else to say. If you haven't checked out Undertale, definitely do check it out. It's very worth your time to play, or at least watch. You will not be disappointed in that game. It's got pretty much everything in there. It's got the humour, it's got the entertainment, it's got the immersiveness, it's definitely got the emotion at the end there. So, anyway, guys, this was Zoroarrkk. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoying the series. I've got a couple more that I definitely know about, and then I've really got to delve deep into different parts of the games. So, anyway, guys, this one's Zoroarrkk. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like below and subscribe if you're new and you enjoy my content. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out, everybody.